All right, everybody, welcome to BO Boys for Monday, March 3rd. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Pat Clayton. We are here for an emergency bonus special episode. It is the day after the Oscars, and we were going to talk about this anyway, so we might as well do it on mic. We might as well do everything on mic. There's no reason for me and you to talk for free at this point. It's got to be
No,
on mic.
unless it's through lawyers, there's no reason.
Yes, exactly. If we're talking to each other directly, not through affidavits and summonses, then yes, it should be on mic and it should be making us money. So let's talk Oscars. We both watched it separately from different locations.
Mm-hmm.
So we really haven't had a chance until now. Clayton, what is your biggest takeaway from what happened? I mean, obviously, Anora went 5 for 5 or won 5. Sean Baker won 4 Oscars, broke the record, destroyed Disney in the process. Beat Walt Disney's ass on the Oscar stage. 4 for 4. He's now the greatest filmmaker of all time. What is your big takeaway after watching that?
Yeah, so Sean went 4 for 4. I think Anora lost a few. It didn't win everything it was up for.
Right, the
Obviously,
supporting
best
actor didn't
supporting
win.
actor. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a big loser.
Yeah, so he's the biggest loser, and he will be reminded of that. Anytime they have a cast reunion for Anora, they'll be like, "Oh, here comes the loser," and everybody will know who they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, he loves it.
I think the actual awards that were given, it was a loss for the box office, but there came a point where, a big advocate for the box office, Sean Baker, made his feelings known, and that was a very exciting moment of being seen.
Yes.
Of being seen and the representation.
Representation matters.
Is important. And to say we need theatrical releases, we need movies in the theaters, him coming out and saying that was great. But what I will say is he didn't take it far enough. This gentleman won Best Editing, Best Original Screenplay, Best Director, and then Best Picture. Now, if this guy really cared about theatrical and box office, that Best Picture Oscar would have been handed to Wicked. Because if he really cared so much about theaters surviving, theaters are not going to survive on Anora, which made Jackass.
It didn't make Jackass the movie level box office. It made just the descriptor, the adjective Jackass. Yeah.
Jackass. Yeah. Jackass is in Jack Shite. Yeah.
Jack Shite. Okay. Gotcha.
And so that would have been the step, the real brave step, is to say we don't deserve this because we didn't make a big enough movie that sold enough popcorn, that sold enough jujubes. Wicked did. And so that would have been a brave statement of let's give the box office its flowers. Right? Because
or hand it to Barbie. Say, you know what? I know it didn't come out this year, but this Best Picture actually should go to 2023's biggest film of the year, Barbie.
Yes.
And Sean Baker could have done that. Yeah.
So it's a half step. It's a half step in the right direction.
Yes. His speeches were great. I will say he was such a great advocate for why you have to go to the movies. I was almost expecting him to call out the BO Boys by name in his Best Director speech, because he was really, if there was any doubt, I think it's pretty clear Sean Baker, who won Best Director, Best Picture last night, is a listener of the BO Boys, because that was, if Danny Escamilaggi of I Screen, You Screen 4, number 4 movies were to win Best Director, I think his speech would be very similar to what Sean Baker had. There would be some flourishes, some differences, but I think that was a BO Boys-esque speech that he gave on the Oscar stage last night. Could have been more forceful, could have said, you have to go to the movies, not you should go, but still, like you said, step in the right direction there.
I was expecting at some point. and
Yeah.
we didn't get it, and I think maybe it was just the time clock, it was one of those things.
Right. Right.
Because everybody except for Adrien Brody played by the rules when it came to the time.
All right. You said his name. Another record was broken last night. Baker broke the record for most Oscar wins in one night for one movie. Adrien Brody broke the record for longest speech, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. I, I kind of was shocked to hear that record was broken last night. But it was. We witnessed the longest acceptance speech of all time from
Yeah.
Adrien Brody.
I think what
It felt
made
that
it
way.
yeah, I think what made it confusing as to be the longest is that it also had the least content
Yes.
of any speech. This guy is a pure bozo,
Mhm.
and I think they made a huge mistake by giving this bozo 2 Oscars because like we said on our preview episode, we both went with Timmy because he makes this town or that town. I mean, I live in New York. I don't live in that town.
Yeah, we
That
live in New
town,
York fucking city. You're right.
we're New York's family. So he makes that town a lot of money, Timothy Chalamet.
Mhm.
And this bozo makes nobody any money. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe he makes some money for some streaming services because he's in some crappy, TV product that they put out. But this guy goes up there, tells them to stop the music in such an arrogant way, in such a
Mhm.
non-charming way, and then says, "I've done this before." Well, sir, you
Wow.
need to act like you've done this before because your speech was all over the place. It was sound and fury signifying nothing.
Mhm.
It made everybody who voted for you think, We fucked up. We fucked up because Timmy's speech, he would have went up there and slam dunked the basketball. He would have brought out he'd be like, I said before I wanted to be the greatest. I invoked Michael Jordan. And it's not just about the acting. I also want to be as good as Mike at basketball. Regulation hoop gets
Yep.
pulled out. This guy slam dunks it, holds on to the rim,
Breaks the
and
glass.
screams, breaks the glass a
Shaq
la
style.
Shaq
Yep.
style, screams,
Mhm.
and then says, I want to thank my mom. I mean, this guy would have given an all-time speech.
And Timmy would have done that speech where he's charming, he thanks everyone who needs to be thanked, he dunks a basketball, breaks the glass, breaks the backboard, Shaq style, and it would not have taken him a record-breaking 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
No,
Timmy
because
does that speech where he dunks and breaks a backboard in under 3 minutes, guaranteed, if he
he's
won.
respectful. He's a respectful kid, and that's the thing is, there's a reason why the Sandman, the great Adam Sandler, went up
Mhm.
and canonized him and screamed his name in a goofy voice in his face. That was canonizing. That was
Yes.
Hollywood saying, "You've made it, son." He didn't go up to Adrian Brody and go, "Adrian Brody,"
A
because it's
Scooby-Doo. No, he
Scooby-Doo.
didn't do that.
Because
He did
Adrian
not do
Brody
that.
would have reacted like a fucking sourpuss.
Right, right.
Who's the bigger sourpuss? Brady, Corbett, or
Mhm.
whatever his fucking name is, which we can forget because he's never going to make anything that makes any money. Or Adrian Brody. Who's the bigger sourpuss? Because for the longest time, I would have said Brady.
I will say I know you want to get the heat off of Brady Corbet and therefore off of yourself because you're both wearing that same fucking hat, that
He
same
didn't wear it.
woman
He
hat.
didn't wear it last night.
He didn't wear it. We were not in the same location. Did you wear that fucking hat while you watched the Oscars, or did you, like Brady Corbet, your
No,
twin,
I
did you
didn't.
take it off? You
No,
took it off during
I
the
had
Oscars.
company.
Got it. Won't
So,
ask anything past that. I think
but
Brady
here,
Corbet is still the biggest sourpuss. I
can
do
I
think
say
that.
something really quick though? Because as a person who wears this fucking hat, I saw the way his hair was laying, and he definitely had the hat on before the ceremony. And his partner said, "You can't with the fucking hat at the Oscars."
Yeah, she pulled it off his head getting out of the limo.
Yeah, and she like
Yeah,
through it into the limo, and he got really, really mad.
yeah, he got really mad.
I'm
So
not gonna say it got physical. I'm just gonna say he got angry.
he got mad. I'd like to read commentary that I got while we were watching the Oscars from recent and future guest Mama Stango. We were texting, and it's about to be Best Actor. They're about to announce it. I text her, "Come on." She goes, "Oh boy, here we go." I text, "Come on, Timmy." Then my mom says, "Or Ralphie," because she also would have been happy with Ray Fiennes winning Best Actor, either Ray Fiennes or Timmy. And then they announce the winner, and my mom just replies, all caps, "Fuck." And she says, "Playing the same role twice. Now he'll tell us about his family. 2 Oscars and Pacino has 1. Go figure." That is Mama Stango's take on Adrien Brody winning Best Actor. 2 Oscars and Pacino has 1. Go figure. I mean, does that sum it up? The situation we're in now with Adrien Brody having 2 Academy Awards for Best Actor. It's he's I would say at a much lower level because she actually has been a star, but this is a Renee Zellweger situation where why does this person have 2 Oscars? But again, Renee Zellweger has made hits and will probably be in a hit again at some point. Adrien Brody, 2 Oscars, still never going to draw a dime for anyone in Hollywood.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think your mom was correct for going off. I think
She
that
went off. She went off.
she went go off queen, and we love to see it. Um, yeah, I mean, the 2 for this guy is just really frustrating. I mean, also we have a hard out, so we do have to talk about the Demi getting Stalloned. I worried it
Yeah,
was gonna happen, and you said that it was a different situation, and obviously maybe using the term Stallone makes it different because she's not hated. She was never on that side of the glass table, right, the
right.
way Stallone was.
Or
But it
the other side of the glass table.
Yeah, which I
I'd
guess what
say
what wins you Best Actress now, but I
true.
think that that was really sad
Yeah,
because, again, we cannot promote her older person kicking ass, violent Liam Neeson type revenge thriller movie with Oscar-winning Demi Moore.
yeah.
Now it's gonna be Oscar-nominated Demi Moore, which is something, but it's
Which
not the
is
gold, and she'll
yeah.
never have another chance.
Yeah, if she had won this Oscar, she would definitely be in a different league in terms of the kind of script she would be getting, and obviously there's already gonna be a dearth of great scripts written for a actress, certain age, all that,
Yeah.
and this takes her she had a potential to break through, where
Mhm.
it's like, if Meryl Streep doesn't act quick enough on giving notes on a script offer, Demi Moore would get it right away,
Yeah.
you know, and that's probably not gonna happen. She's now not gonna get the script that Nicole Kidman dawdled on
Mhm.
sent right to her, which would have happened if she won the Oscar last night. Obviously, we wanted her to have Oscar winner above her name when she's in a Taken type movie, but it is more about she would have gotten much better potential roles had she won. And I think now that she lost, Hollywood not going to move on, but yeah, it's a huge loss for her. And just personally, I'm sure she was furious. I'm sure when Mikey Madison went up there and gave that nothing of a speech and showed the complete lack of charisma that she
Oh,
has, that Demi Moore was just furious, as she should be, as she should have been.
now,
And
you know, I
we don't want to listen. Mikey Madison, great for her. She's great at being set on fire at the end of
she's a
movies
ghost
and all.
face.
She's a she is the first. Yeah,
The
you're a big
first
Scream guy.
Yes.
Talk about that. The first ever Ghostface to win a competitive Oscar.
Well, now, we all know as Scream fans that the person who should have been the first Ghostface to win an Oscar is
Mhm.
Laurie Metcalf.
Yep.
Laurie Metcalf got jobbed for, when she was up for the Best
For Lady Bird.
Supporting for Lady Bird, all-time performance. The woman deserves an Oscar just for her body of work,
Mhm.
and, she got jobbed, so she would have been the first Ghostface that really, I believe, deserved, you know Uh, the jury is still out on, I'm sorry, why am I
M
blanking on
Matthew
his name?
Lillard?
Matthew Lillard, who I think
Yep.
has the capability of having an Oscar type performance in the future. You know,
Mhm.
he's as big as he's ever been because of Five Nights at Freddy's. Love that man. Uh, but Mikey Madison, yeah, being the first Ghostface to win an Oscar, that's a huge thing for the Scream community, obviously. But you know,
She didn't thank the Scream community in her speech. Do you
she did.
feel left out, the fact that she didn't say, "I'd like to thank the Scream community
Yeah. Yeah,
for
I think she should
supporting
have
me"?
called out the Scream Reddit for sure. I mean, everybody should be thanking these Reddit communities. But yeah, no, I felt unseen by that.
Mhm.
She just came up there and was a complete blank slate. She did the same thing that she did in all of her, awards things. She was in the Criterion Closet, and she put me to sleep.
Mhm.
I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's not the most dynamic thing is watching somebody shop for DVDs, but so many people have done it so much better.
Right.
And I don't want to be mean to
Yeah, let's not be
her
mean.
because
Yeah.
it's just that you want to crown somebody who you feel like will have a bright, bright future, and it doesn't feel like she has that. And I guess, listen, she could prove us wrong. I would
Prove
love
us
her
wrong.
to take this Oscar,
Yep.
be like, sign me up for a big budget popcorn movie where I can sell jujubes and I can
Mhm.
put it in the BO Boys' face.
Mhm.
That's what I want from her.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want a little fire under her ass, not on her face.
Yeah. Shove it down our throats. Shove this episode where we said Demi Moore should have won and Mikey Madison's not gonna be a movie star. Take this episode and shove it down our goddamn throats by having a huge career full of blockbusters.
Yeah, because then when she
We'd
wins
love
a
to see it.
blockbuster award,
Mhm.
she can go up on stage and be like, "Hey, BO Boys, S my D.
Yeah.
S my
100%.
effing D."
Yep. Yep. The way
That
Sean Baker basically called out the BO Boys and praised us, Mikey Madison someday should go up there and tell us to go F ourselves.
Mhm.
And we love it. We love it. Because
Yeah.
as long as we're being talked about, that's all that matters. So I do think that Mikey Madison, Adrien Brody, you're going to see both of them co-starring in a straight to red box movie within the next 2 years.
Mhm.
Two-time Academy Award winner Adrien Brody, Academy Award winning former Ghostface Mikey Madison in, you know, Desert Fierce Firestorm 4. That'll
Mhm.
be something straight to red box.
Yeah,
So,
and maybe she was a One Tree Hill fan, and she'll be very excited to be co-starring with, the guy from that show,
yeah, Chad Michael Murray.
Chad
Yeah,
Michael Murray. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Those are the winners. Kieran Culkin
we knew
won.
that was gonna happen.
Great speech. Do you think that this leads to he's going to get some starring vehicles in movies, right? I mean, I guess his main thing, like most actors today, are probably going to be he's going to get some big prestige streaming vehicles built around him. But I do
Mhm.
think he's got the name and the charisma that you could build low budget starring vehicles around him. You do wish this was a time again where big screen comedies were more in vogue, because I do
Mhm.
think he'd be the type of like a Kevin Kline. That's what I'm going to throw out there. We're in a different time with the Oscar for supporting actor under his belt. Kieran Culkin could have you a Kevin Kline type run.
Well, here's one that's
Get him a
more
Dave.
recent.
Kieran Culkin in a Dave. Big studio, smart comedy like that would be great.
That would be great, but even, the level of, like, a Vince Vaughn comedy where he plays the sort of, like, snarky guy who, I think, Vince Vaughn is a good template for him as well.
Right. Yeah, Vince Vaughn would be a good template. I think now that he's got the Oscar, he's a level above the projects expected from him that a Vince Vaughn, which is why like I feel like a Kevin Kline would be the great role model for Kieran Culkin if those type of movies were actually coming out. But of course, nowadays, Dave would be a Amazon series.
Yeah. Now, we don't have the ratings yet. Um, so what did you think of the actual show? Conan, of course, being the host.
I, I mean, he was great. He's obviously we're in the bag for Conan. Our expectations for him are through the roof. And I think everything he did was really funny. My wish is that, and I do think he's going to host again. My take is I'm sure the producers love the way his part of it came out.
Mhm.
He was really funny, didn't ruffle any feathers, but still at the same time felt not edgy, but did feel cool and interesting. Um, so I thought everything he did was great. I, of course, wish there was more of him. I
Yeah.
would have loved to see, you know, more late night type bits like the sandworm happening throughout the show. But I think that's just as much as they're going to let the host do.
Yes.
Um, the James Bond thing, that
Yeah.
was a disaster.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the type of segment that either don't have that and just don't have anything in that spot, or that should be a host produced segment.
Yeah.
Like the sketch film he did about uh teaching teenagers to watch movies in the movie theater instead of on their phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like either have more of that or just don't have the James Bond thing.
Yes. Some quick hits. Diane Warren has said, she's been interviewed and she said, "I will be back." She's threatening.
Wow.
Now she's threatening people.
I
I
love
think
it.
that I love it. I love this fire. I mean, she's always been fiery. I mean, talk about, we talk about Brady being a sour face. But she has a right to be.
Yep.
I love that she says she will be back. She will shove another mediocre song down your throat. I will get a nomination and I will again fight for this thing. I mean, I love that.
Wow. I love it.
I
Th-
will be back. I mean, she's going Terminator. She's going Terminator on these fools.
I think this show is going to bomb in the ratings because it was once you got past the Conan stuff at the beginning and the supporting was a supporting actor was first. You get that middle 2 hours, which is just a total slog.
Yeah.
And also, no one has seen these movies. No one's
No.
seen Anora. No one's seen The Brutalist. These movies were all bombs, and so no one's in the stacks is going to care about this. But if you were to build the promotional campaign for next year's Oscars around Diane Warren and her fire, her threats of violence,
Mhm.
her quest to win an Oscar or die trying on stage, that's at least a hook to get your real average Joes and average Janes to care about the Oscars. That
Here's what
this
Yeah.
woman will do anything to win tonight, and if she doesn't, she's bringing hell with her. That is how you promote a 4-hour telecast.
Here's my call for year. You have Diane Warren open the show with a song about "You better give me this Oscar. You
Mm-hmm.
better give this to me." She writes the song herself and she performs this song, or she has someone perform that song. And it's then nominated for an Emmy because it is in an Oscar telecast. So that song can be nominated for an Emmy, and then they give her the Emmy, but she doesn't get the Oscar.
Wow.
That would be such a great
I mean,
continuation of this prank.
she would chuck that Emmy through someone's head. The Emmy's meaningless.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Emmy's meaningless. I think you build the show around her quest to win the Oscar or die trying, and you put best song last. Because
Mhm.
honestly, you get an Oppenheimer every once in a while that wins best picture and people have seen it, but we are fully in the era of Anora
Yeah.
where it will be year after year best picture. The only movies that could win are 3 movies that do zero business.
Yeah.
And I think something like best song with Diane Warren and her whole life on the line is more of a way to keep people to the end of the show than best picture is.
Yeah.
So I think that is the big thing I'm seeing is this show will die in the ratings, and Diane Warren maybe is the only answer to bringing it back up next year.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, we've got a heart out. Anything else? One final thought from you on last night's show?
I know I said Conclave all season long, even pre the nominations, and it was number 2. It was a 2-dog race for sure, and I just wanna say that even though Conclave did not win, I will get my reward in the next life because I had faith in Conclave, and that
Mhm.
will be enough.
Mhm. Yeah, you're gonna have to ride this as a thing that gets you in those pearly gates,
Mhm.
because it's not much else that you have on the resume, but this could be enough. The fact that you stuck with Conclave all the way through this Oscar season.
Yep, yep.
Um,
What about you? Anything?
y- you know, I the James Bond thing really sticks out to me as a total disaster,
Mhm.
and I have no idea why they spent about 10 minutes, 4 songs for a movie that is not gonna have a new installment in the next 2 years. The last movie came out, what, 4 years ago? No one cared. That was the biggest head scratcher of the night, is what the hell is going on here?
But those movies make money.
They make
They're box
money,
office
but
hits.
they are so it's so out of the zeitgeist right now, other than if you really are in the weeds on the broccoli selling the IP to Amazon. And that segment didn't even really reference that. You
Mhm.
know, if they had uh all those songs happening as someone is explaining the intricacies of the IP sale to Amazon and reading the BO Boy Substack about what's next for Bond now that Amazon owns it, sure.
Mhm.
Then you're doing something. But just having those Doja Cat, whoever that is, I don't know, huge star, nobody, I can't tell you. They should have the Strokes sing all those songs. Honestly, that's my big takeaway is if you're gonna do covers of those Bond theme songs, just have the Strokes do all of them.
You're showing your age a little bit, but I get it.
Yeah, young, hip, of the moment. So there you go. All right. So that is it. That's all I got, Clayton. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I
All
finished.
all right, great.
You've said it all. There's nothing
Uh,
left to be said,
All right. We'll do the
except for until next time,
we'll
we'll
smell
smell
you
you
at
at
the
the
box
box
office.
office.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.